from Florida. Good morning from Maui. Oh, good. Your name is Teresa. So, Teresa, if you want to change your name, you can. You can go to your box. Where did you go? Here you are. Let me see. I don't know. I might actually be able to name you Teresa. Now you're Teresa. And just so you know how to do that, if you hover your cursor over your Zoom box on the little three dots, if you click on that, a menu will come up and it'll ask if you want to rename. And so I just renamed you, although I don't know if it stays for the next time that you come on. So we'll have to check that. But good morning, everybody. We are still flooding in. Yay! That's good.
And we are live, Tammy.
I'm sorry. So what's that? We are live?
And we are
Okay.
live.
Oh, perfect. Well, good morning. Happy Wednesday. Today is October 29th, and I am hopping on here to guide us in our IPA call. This is an income producing activity call. It's been so inspiring to come on these calls and hear what other leaders have to say. They put a fire in my belly. I woke up very early this morning thinking somebody must need to hear what I have to say today. I'm not gonna share a whole lot of amazing what to do's, but more amazing, like maybe it's going to connect with somebody in what they're thinking. Because a lot of times there's like behind the scenes thinking that people don't really verbalize or vocalize. And so I wanted to share this with somebody. Maybe they need to hear this. But before I do, think about your IPA, okay? Think about your IPA. If you have something that earns you a new customer or an increased paycheck, maybe another brand partner, maybe you helped your new brand partner. Um, think about it and don't overthink it, but try to share that with us because I bet you anything, if you're experiencing some teeny tiny little win that feels huge to you, it's going to be huge for somebody else to hear. So think about it. I want to get some hands raised, but I also wanted to share something that felt like I needed to say it, like somebody needs to hear it. And just before I do, just so you guys know, who am I? I come on about once a week to the IPAs. I've been with Partner Co. for, it'll be 5 years in March. I can't even believe 5 years have gone by. And I was with another, I'm currently an officer with Partner Co. And when I came on, I was actually with another health and wellness company for 3 years. And I wasn't looking for another opportunity. I loved where I was at. I thought, oh my gosh, this is it. This is where I've landed. I loved the health and wellness. I loved hooking myself to a health and wellness company that kept me accountable. But when I found James Zhang at the time, when he had just started his new, you've heard him talk about, I came in at a new campaign push that he was trying to prove the system wrong. And he enrolled, I want to say like 20 new partners. I was one of them. And when I came in at the time, we were a much smaller group. And I remember thinking, oh my gosh, this is a place where I can raise my hand and be heard. I can raise my hand and be selected. If I raised my hand, he called on me and I got to have a voice here. In my other company, it wasn't like that. It wasn't like that. The people who had the voice were all of the people who were well established. They had the big personalities and they had the bigger paychecks. And that's how it was. But here, it is totally different. And I want to share that with you because I was always the person that I have 25 years of corporate experience. And I was always the person that worked behind the scenes. I was the worker bee. I never had the voice, but I always had the work. And I always went to the person who had the voice, and we cahooted together. And then they got all of the, stage or the voice. And so maybe you want the voice, maybe you don't want to have the voice. Either way, there's a place for you here to raise your hand, to have a voice, whether it's on stage or behind the scenes. And we never really talk, we always talk about Partner Co and their culture and this team, the Champions Network, this team's culture, but we never really pinpoint that it gives you a chance to have your own voice. And I want to give a perfect example of this. I want to relate it back to the IPA call last Friday. Who was on that? It was James. He came on and he shared some amazing information with his journey and how he grew in the last 2 years. So yes, if you were on it, if you were not on it and you want to go back and look at it, maybe Pam or Kathy, maybe you guys can direct us to where that replay is. But he did put it up as a replay, which was pretty bold. We didn't think he was going to, because he's getting nitty gritty about what his income was and how it grew. And I just wanted to dig into that a tiny bit, because I know many people were thinking it. Many people said it to me personally, but I'm going to put it out here loud and bold. He talked about James talked about 2 years ago, he and Becky made a paycheck that, was modest. It was good, actually. It was great. It was fantastic. But in the grand scheme of where they're at, when he announced and he showed his paycheck of what he made in a month, it was equivalent to about what a senior officer or president would make. 2 years ago, if anybody was here 2 years ago or came in within the last year or so, I guarantee that you didn't look at James and Becky and think, oh, they're only making a senior officer paycheck. Because he acted as if, and he moved as if, he decided as if that he was moving forward, and he led as if he had that paycheck that he just made last month, which was 10 times the amount. And I want to just shine light on that, because 2 years ago, when he was acting the same James, yes, he's grown. They have grown. They have grown in their skills. They have grown in their abilities and their communication. But the process that took him there, you don't look 2 years ago and think, oh, he was nothing then. 2 years ago, he was acting as if, and he had a paycheck that he was automatically envisioning as the one that he just got this last month. So I just wanted to paint that picture, because I had many people come to me personally and say, oh my gosh, I had no idea that that's all he made. Although all he made, a senior officer president paycheck, that's still a six-figure income, right? But anyway, I just wanted to give a little insight into that. If you get a chance, go back and look at that. And I also want to share my screen real quick. Give me 1 second. And how do I do this? Okay, so if you are looking for a chance to raise your hand and to figure out how to act as if, how to lean in and move as if you are making that six-figure paycheck or 10 times that. James is opening up this millionaire mentorship. And this is not to be taken lightly. This is not just for the person who has a loud voice. And it is not just for the person who has a business mind. It's for the person who wants a new chance, like I did when I came here. I wanted to start a clean slate. Like, how can I reestablish me? how can I reestablish and break away from the identity that I was as just being the behind the scenes worker bee? And I came here and he offered a program equivalent to the Millionaire Mentorship. It was called something different then. But this is not to be taken lightly. All you have to do to qualify, to raise your own hand, you have the chance to raise your hand and step in the ring, is to enroll 2 brand partners as an activated level, 200 PV or more, within a 30-day window. And then when you do get there and you do step into that, then keep raising your hand and keep asking the questions and keep showing up if you want the 6-figure income or 10 times that. So I didn't want to make light of this millionaire mentorship. You hear James talk about it. He's not just trying to get people into it because it's fun. He's trying to help people. The secret to adding an extra 6-figure income a year to your income. That's what he highlights here. So anyway, I'm going to stop sharing, and to be in compliance, we should not share that private information about income. Yes, thank you. It is meant to be kept private. It's their private information, but he did share it, and it is in our partners only group. So anyway, with that being said, if you guys are thinking about who's thinking about going into the millionaire mentorship, who is going after it? And if you're going after it and you've been having a hard time, then pick somebody that you admire, pick somebody that has helped you get into this business, and lean into them. And don't be afraid to ask them. You're not bugging them. I guarantee they want to see you win just as much as you want to win. So don't be embarrassed or shy. Okay, yes, great. You're trying, you're going for it. That's great. You guys can do it. It's so possible. He made it so possible. Okay, so we're already 10 minutes in, and I want to go ahead and leave time for income producing activities. If you guys, I want to hear what you're doing, who got a customer, and maybe if it wasn't last night or yesterday, maybe it was a week ago. Maybe you never spoke about the time that you did something to add to your paycheck a month ago, because you felt like, oh, it's just not that big of a deal. I encourage you to raise your hand. I'm going to give a very awkward silence for people to raise their hand, and then I will have my own IPA to share as well. I'm staring at all of you. Matt, that's so awesome. First one to raise your hand. If we were in a classroom, I'd like throw you a little something. Just
Thank
to
you.
say
Good morning,
thank
everybody. So last night, we were talking with a good friend of ours that I've known her since I was in high school. So, and so is my wife. Sorry. She actually was like my ex-girlfriend way back then. But anyway, nobody needs to know that. Anyway, so she has been struggling. She used to be with my wife at her previous here. I'll let my wife get in because this is kind of a cool story. She used to be with my wife with her former business, and she lost like 60 pounds. It was great. She was unbelievable. But then life happened, and she gained that weight back, and a lot of other stuff happened in her life. And she is not in a good place with her weight. She's premenopausal. She's very unbalanced with her hormones. And literally, we were talking with her and connecting with her, and just the tears coming down her face. We're just like, I need help. I need help. I trust you. What can you do? And we said, look, we left the previous company, and we found something. We were introduced to something that is an incredible tool, and we'd love to share it with you. And through talking and everything like that, we were able to sign her up with a 3-pack Advantage Sugar Stop, and then we're going to wind up as well doing the Everglow also coming up. And then most likely we'll be trying to help her out with the brand partner also. And go ahead, Joe.
But the big thing is I was like, well, she's a single mom, so we'll just do the 1-pack, the Sugar Stop, and the Advantage. And he's like, no, we're going for the 3-pack. And we ended up getting the 3-pack. I was like, okay, way to go. But it really at one point was like family therapy. Like we're talking to our son how to treat his mom. And yeah. So long story short, literally trust your gut or trust your spouse when he says go for the 3-pack.
The one time she had listened to me. Oh my gosh. Usually I listen to her. So the one time it worked. So no, but it was such a cool thing. I loved it. Turned from tears of sadness to tears of joy. So it was super cool.
Thank you. That is a great story. Now, there's a couple things I heard in there. You said talking through this, she decided to go ahead and get Advantage and a few products. What did talking through this mean? What did that even look like? You're sitting there with her. Are you asking her questions? Is she asking questions? There's tears involved. What does that talking through mean?
I'll let Jill.
It actually wasn't even talking. It was what she was drinking. I was like, she had a cup in her hand, a red Solo cup. And
that explains it all. Red Solo cups.
I was like, what's in the cup? And so she told us. And I was like, oh, you definitely need Sugar Stop. She goes, but I don't have a sugar problem. I said, no, you have an alcohol problem. Oh. So we are just, it's that know, like, and trust factor that we continually talk about is, when you can speak truth to somebody and say, yeah, you may not have a sugar problem, but what is alcohol? Alcohol is a sugar. And how to utilize that. And I said, here's the thing. My hope is that you're not on Sugar Stop all the time, right? That you're not drinking every day, that you'll get your stuff in check and then be able to not use the alcohol as a coping mechanism or a pain management medium. So that's how that would work. And then I'm very honest with people. I'm like, where do you carry your weight? Where do you see your fluff? And hers was in her abdomen area, which is the same as mine. And so I was like, you definitely need an Advantage. So that's why I was going for just the 3. And he's like, oh no, we're committing her for the full 90 days. So yeah.
I love it. Okay, so you definitely got down and dirty personal, but she already came to you and said, I need help and I trust you. And that's really bold. That's really bold to talk about what's in her cup and say, no, this is what you need. Because it could have been so easy to be like, oh, I don't want to overstep. So I think that's huge, the way that you have the confidence and you trust yourself, knowing the products, knowing what they can do to speak about them. So huge kudos for that. And then the other thing I wanted to say is I love you guys as a tag team. You guys are so adorable. But with Matt saying, oh no, we want to do the 3-pack. Matt, I would love for you to speak about what gave you the instinct and movement to go for the 3-pack and not be like, oh, she doesn't have much money. Like, what was speaking to you?
I think a lot of it was, or a couple things. Number one is when I'm learning, especially when you're and a lot of it's through everybody on this call and everything. If you're offering the 3-pack, it gives them a savings. First of all, you could actually talk about, hey, instead of paying this price, you're actually going to get it for this price. But secondly is so many people, they try it for 1 month and they're like, oh, well, I don't see anything. And it gives them that out. Where if you do the 3-pack, it's like, look, they're committing to that 90 days. And like, look, you may not see huge results in the first month, but I promise you that throughout, you're going to start feeling better. You're going to start seeing as the time goes on. And so I think a lot of it also is like with her, it was, she trusts us because we've known her, we've done life together. And I really felt that this isn't going to be a 1 month and turn around and here you go. But I also thought that if we do the 3-pack, she starts off with the drops, and then when she won't have to order the drops on the second month, but there might be, based off of what's happening, or her success, and or things might need to change, and try to go with another product to add with the drops. So it gives us that ability to not have to worry about purchasing the drops because she's already got those. Now I can focus on, maybe there's another item like the Everglow. I can add the Everglow next month, instead of having to do the Advantage, because she ordered 2 Advantages also. So it gives us an idea of, maybe month 2, month 3, we can introduce her to something else without having to worry about added expense for the drops. That makes sense.
No, and the magic really is, we all know that it's best to do the 3 months, but the magic really is that you were able to relay the value to her, because oftentimes they don't make the purchase in the 90 days because they don't understand the real value. So being able to express it and to her in a way that she sees the value personally is where you're listening to her. She's trusting you, but you're really catering to her personal needs. So I think that's where the magic is. So congratulations. Thanks for sharing that story.
Yeah, no problem. And we will get her on brand partner. She's a customer right now. But with all the stuff that she has gotten, I'm like, okay, we got to get her, that 30% off. We got to get her going. So we'll get her into Ultimate and doing that. But this is a great start. And like I said, it was an emotional thing last night because of the fact that, like, we've done life with her, and we've seen the good. We've seen the mountain when she's on the mountaintops, and we've seen her when she's in the valleys. And we've walked those journeys. And I've often told people, we don't walk in front or behind people. We walk beside them, side by side, and walk them through things. And this is one where we have literally, as much as she has inspired us, we've inspired her. And to be able to see those tears of sadness turn into tears of hope and joy, whether I would have, that right there sold it for me. I was like, if there's anything that could possibly say, why should I do this business? It's that. It's changing one person, one heartbeat at a time. And I am telling you, it was an incredible, it was one of those things. It was just like a God moment.
Oh.
And it was awesome. So I don't want to take up everybody's time, but it was super cool.
You're not actually
happy about it.
Thank you. You're not taking up, and actually I want to shine light on something else too, because you've seen her up and you've seen her, she's at her lowest low right now. How easy would it have been for somebody to say, oh, she doesn't have what it takes. Look at her. She's holding her alcohol. She's dependent on that, or whatever. You could have made up excuses and reasons why she wouldn't be a good fit, or why you don't think she would buy from you. You could have made up so many other reasons, but you chose to see the potential. You see her potential and you spoke that into her. So that is a gift and a skill that we can all develop, being able to see somebody's potential before they can see it and gift it to them so that they can see it too. So that's huge. I think that's something we can all take away.
Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you. Carol, good morning. Great to see you here. We'd love to hear about your IPA. We got to unmute. I see your lips.
Okay, there I am. Okay, I thought I unmuted. Maybe I unmuted and muted back. Okay. Anyway, this will turn into an IPA, but if you have someone you haven't reached out to in a while, reach out to them because you never know what's going on. So I have not talked to my cousin in a while. So, and she's a year younger than me. So she texted back. She said, I've got to start seeing a dietitian. My A1C is at 9. Okay. So she's been battling this for a while. So she ended up calling me because she was driving. So we caught up on some other things. And so I told her about the body balancing drops. And then I also mentioned the Advantage, but also she went into, her and her husband both have done different shots, I think 2 different ones. Her husband ended up getting pancreatitis from it. So, so I added her to the Drop Revolution. tagged her in some testimonies of people that had results that are type 2 diabetic. And she's watched those. She said, I'm definitely interested. She's going to check into one other thing I sent her, I think about insulin resistance. So I recommended of course, the 90-day pack. Asked her if she had a sugar addiction because we could do the sugar stop. She says, no, not really. And I talked about the advantage. She goes, yeah, I'll probably get that because I told her it taxed the visceral fat. So that's where we are with her. She did opt into my machine. And so I'll, give her another day or two, but I'm pretty sure she'll either be a client. I sort of dropped in a little bit about she could become a brand partner. So we'll see which direction she goes on that.
So
And
perfect. So
yeah,
thank you for sharing. So she's in the funnel.
yes,
She's in the pipeline, getting her into the drop revolution. My favorite thing that you did was you tagged her into personal testimonies that related directly to her. So one thing you can do after tagging her is drop a personal message. Hey, I just tagged you. I wanted to make sure you got it.
right.
Yes. So I don't know if you did that or not. I'm
Yeah,
just very
she's got it. She's reviewed 2 of
perfect.
them. She's got one more to go, I think.
Yeah, good job. Well, good luck. Keep us updated on
I
how
will.
that goes. And oftentimes, just having one conversation with somebody or sharing that information with them doesn't mean, okay, they're buying. You could be dripping on them and you're
Right.
building belief and the drop revolution. Oh my gosh. Thank you guys so much. You guys make me want to do more in there. You do so, so much, all of you guys who are participating in videos, testimonies, information. Thank you so much. That group is so, so valuable. Allison, hello, good morning.
Hello, you're doing such an awesome job this morning. Lots of great info. Matt and Jolene, I love you. Oh my gosh. Okay, so referrals. Y'all, I reached out to a girl yesterday, and she's a former partner of mine in previous company, and she's not interested, and that's okay. She's perfectly fine where she is. She doesn't even want to entertain it. But guess what? She sent a referral to me yesterday. So the power of referrals, even though someone that you're reaching out to may not be the one, they know people. So as soon as we got off the phone, she said, hey, I just talked to a friend of mine and I'm sending her your contact. And she just has texted me. I'm trying to get her on the 3-pack. And then she said, oh, well, I just noticed it's not 150 when I'm checking out, it's 161. And I go, well, you have to pay tax and shipping. That's why I think the 3-pack is well worth it, because you only pay 1 shipping, 1 tax on the 3-pack, and then you don't, whatever. Anyway, so she's contemplating it, but she's ordering right now. But I would have never, had I not reached out to Heather, and I told Heather, I said, totally okay if it's not for you, but I'd love you to pass my link around, pass my name around, hook us up, whatever. And so she's ordering today. And another thing real quick is accountability partner. Tammy reached out to me a couple weeks ago, and we're accountability partners. Can I tell you, it's only day 3, and I know that I have to answer to Tammy, not really in that way, but I know. So I'm telling you what, not only the IPA calls are great, but actually doing the IPAs are better. And so that's keeping me accountable to actually do them and tell Tammy what I've done for the day. So I highly recommend an accountability partner, even if it's somebody because Tammy and I had never even, I never even spoke to Tammy, and she was bold enough to reach out to me. So I think sometimes it's even better if you don't know the people, because she's given me so much wisdom and knowledge about her business side, and I'm kind of a slacker on the tech side. So anyway, she's helping me in that. So anyway, that's just a couple of things.
Thank you, Allison. You're so sweet. Yeah, you are answering to you. And you actually inspired me. When you mentioned the referral, this referral, you didn't ask for it. They just gave it to you, right? Knowing what you do, they gave you the referral.
Yeah, I had mentioned, I said, it's totally okay if it's not for you. If you know anybody, you know, that's, I didn't like send her anything formal or anything. And then that afternoon something clicked and she sent me the girl's name and we've talked and yeah, and she's ordering.
So I'm just kind of speaking off the cuff here. I actually had thought of this yesterday and I wrote it down on my little what I'm doing today, and it feels uncomfortable. But if anybody's watched Eric Worre in his GoPro, he's like the godfather of network marketing. And he has an exercise where he specifically asks people for referrals. So like Allison knew her friend that, you know, it may or may not be for her. And they specifically said, I am looking for referrals. Can you connect me with somebody? I don't have the exact script or verbiage written down, but I do know it's something that's going to push me a little bit. And it's something I was actually going to add to my list this week, to specifically ask for referrals, because I do have a lot of people who have been on the drops. They loved them, but for whatever reason, they don't want to commit to them. They were great customers, but it's been maybe a year gone by. Those are people, if they've had a good experience or somebody who's using something else, whatever, you can ask for a referral. It's bold, it's brave, but it's stating exactly what you want. And people love to help their friends. So if they can find, oh my gosh, let me connect you to somebody. I do know somebody who inquired about it. You know, you just never know what's going to come of it. So thank you, Allison, and thank you for your kind words. You have been amazing. Definitely holding my feet to the fire. When you have an accountability partner, you can't hide. You can't justify. You have to answer to that. So yes, we're only on day 3, but it's going great. Eric, we'd love to hear what's going on with Eric.
Good morning. Just wanted to put something in the notes this morning. People are watching. And when we talk about
Oh, you went on mute. I heard you at first and then you muted.
Okay, is that better?
Yes.
Okay. Consistency and persistency, it continues to come up in our verbiage in our conversations, but I got a text yesterday afternoon, and it was a woman that was wanting more information on the drops. And so we began talking, and then we actually scheduled a phone call for yesterday evening. We ended up talking for about an hour, but what was so amazing was I went back in the text while we were talking, and she had originally responded to one of my posts back on May the 21st. And just said that she wanted more information. I sent her the copy paste from boards. Thank you so much about asking about the body balancing drops with the video, with the presentation. The next day, May the 22nd, she said, thank you for the response. How long have you been using the drops? She asked a few more questions. She mentioned that she and her husband had been doing the semaglutide shots for a while, having some side effects. The doctor took her off of those. So it never went really anywhere after that, but until yesterday. And I thought, this is so wild. Long story short, she's signing up as a brand partner today. She and her husband are both on board. They've been watching me since May. So you never know. Just continue doing the deal, continue doing your posts, because people are watching. You don't know what post is going to hit them between the eyes, but just continue doing it because it does come back. So this is the harvest season for those seeds that were planted back then. So when you think it's not happening, just remember you've got seeds in the ground. Keep watering them and it will come back to you.
Such a great example of that in May. And I'm just curious, how did it leave off in May? Did the conversation just fizzle out and life just happened?
Yes. In fact, what she said yesterday when I got the new text, it said, hey, Eric, I just watched the video again, the one I had sent her back in May. And it says, and I'm ready to get started on this new journey. What are the next steps? Did you start off just doing the drops or the business as well? So as we started talking, I realized that she was interested in the business opportunity, and come to find out she's got a history in multi-level marketing. In fact, the company that I was with years ago, we never met each other through that. But it just, I guess, like you say, it fizzled after that conversation, but yet she continued and went back and watched that video again here, 7-8 months later,
Yeah. Congratulations. Kudos to following up, because it would be so easy to say, they're not interested. They didn't say anything. But we say, you keep asking, keep following up until they say, please don't contact me again about that. In fact, little side conversation, I was reaching out to some new people, just making new contacts because that's on our on our list. Me and Allison were getting at least 5 new contacts a day. And I made this new contact and she seemed really friendly. We had a little conversation going back and forth. And she said, please don't try to sell me anything. Our conversation was going great, but she said, just FYI, please don't try to sell me anything. And I kind of chuckled and I thought, oh my gosh, she's going to be my next brand partner. I didn't try to sell her anything. We were having a great conversation about our adult children, empty nesters. But anyway, I just thought that was a fun little story. Eric, thank you for sharing and congratulations.
Thank you.
Pam, we'd love to hear from you.
Hey, thank you. Hey, I just saw a comment in the chat room about Sugar Stop not working on liquids.
Okay.
And what I did is I went to Partner Co. and I asked Allie, and Allie responded back with the truth of that statement. So the answer is, let me see if I can put it in the chat. The answer is it does work on alcohol. Why? Because alcohol is a sugar, just like everything else. And I'm putting her comment, Allie's comment, in our chat box.
Oh,
So just wanted to put that out there and let you know that I did some research from our expert, and this is what I found.
I love it. I call her Alley Chat, kind of like Alley Cat.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. So you guys, whenever we hear stuff from other people, I always say to myself, because I hadn't heard it. What is that? And really? And how come I didn't know that? So that's why I went to Allie to see what she had to say. So for those of you who don't know who Allie is, she is in Partner Co. She's our AI bot. She is phenomenal. And I just want to say, when you do ask her a question, you got to read it carefully. If it doesn't make sense, ask her better questions and always thank her. She is going to be amazing for helping us to grow our business. You can ask her anything and she'll give you an answer, or say she doesn't know and get back to you. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Thank you so much. This is her right here. She's in a blue bubble. So when you bring up Partner Co, you can see her down at the bottom right. For anybody, I'm not logged in, so anybody who comes in here can see that. So just so you know where to find her at the bottom right. That's how you get to her, Beth. Oh, perfect. We answered your question. I wanted to share an IPA that I thought was interesting. I got a new customer and I gave her the opportunity. We did talk about becoming a brand partner, but she wants to try the products first. That's totally fine. And our conversation had spanned, probably a couple weeks at least. And I would say that months ago, so I'm also a board certified reflexologist. I'm in a group and it's with all the other reflexologists, practitioners. And we had gotten into a side chat and I had asked her, I point blank asked her if she would be open to adding income to her reflexology business. And she point blank said, oh, no, thank you. I don't have any interest at all. And I point blank asked her at some time if she wanted to try the drops. And because of a conversation that we're having, and she said, no, I'm good. So fast forward, I'm engaging in very intentional conversations. So some conversations are directly related to partners and customers. Other conversations, I'm just getting to know people. I'm just saying, oh my gosh, you're a reflexologist. I'd love to just hop on a Zoom with you and just hear a little bit more about you. So I'm scheduling like little 15-minute kind of like get to know you calls with people in my world that relate to me in my world. So anyway, so we got on this call, we got on a Zoom, we chatted all about reflexology stuff. We ended, it was a very nice conversation a few weeks ago. And now that she knows me, she sees me, she came right out and asked me, you know what, Tammy, those drops that you mentioned so many months ago, I think I'd actually like to try them. So yeah, she became a customer. And I asked her, you know, I gave her the option, 1 box, 3 boxes. She wants to share it with her husband, all of that. Turns out she bought 1 box, which is fine. I didn't have the Matt power at the moment, the Matt and Jolene, to get her on the 3 months. But we spoke about it, and that's okay. She's in for the 90 days. She knows she has 90 days ahead of her. But one thing that was huge in all of this, not only dripping on each other, getting to know her, having a conversation just about her, um, during our chat, our messaging back and forth, when she was asking about the drops, the conversation stalled a little bit. And her text message back to me, she came right out and asked me, can you share your personal testimony, your personal experience with the drops? And I realized I had never shared it with her. I had talked about the benefits, I had shared other people's testimony, but I sometimes minimize mine because I don't feel like it's like that exciting. But she asked me for my personal experience, and I left an audio memo. I spoke about my mom losing 100 pounds being diabetic. I spoke about how they've helped me. I spoke about how they helped my daughter, just for me and my family. And she was more impressed by that than anything else. She heard all the other things, but to hear me speak about what they did for me personally and for my family, that's when she said, I'm in, I'm buying the drops. And so I just wanted to share that. Don't minimize your story. Still share whatever win you have. I still always, you know, think, oh, is my story even good enough? And it is. And I'm starting to practice sharing little bits and pieces of it more and more. So anyway, that is my IPA. If there's any other IPAs, we don't have to go exactly to 1/4 of the hour. I believe Lisa Swanson is going to be ending our call in prayer. But is there any last chances? Anybody who wants to give a nugget? Vanessa, hi. Good to see you.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Good, thank
Um,
you.
it's not technically yet produced income. Well, no, it hasn't. It's not even technically. But today I had a troubleshooting. It just might be useful for other people. I don't know. I had a troubleshooting session with one of my brand partners in Australia. And one of the things that I was sort of coming up with is putting together Christmas packs. And I just thought it would be a really good idea. We have collab drops down here. So we also have, single sachet things drops, which you don't have. But I said to her, why don't we put together a Christmas party power pack and we can include, 10-day. I said, do a 10-day thing because like Christmas parties, all the chaos, and she's a party girl. So this is right in her alley. But she'll have to start promoting it, in the next week or two. This is why I thought I'd just mention it because otherwise I've mentioned it's going to be too late, right? But we're going to put together sachets of, the noni sachets
Yeah.
and the elite sachets. I mean, you guys have got Renew, so we don't have that. And the other thing I said, maybe even if we include like the greens pack, just a whole pack of something like that, just getting creative of whatever you think is going to work and do that for, just like promote it as something to get you through the Christmas season or something like that. And if we did it as a 10-day pack, it became a little bit of affordable for people who may or may not be. But the other thing too, I said, is that at Christmas time, we're actually programmed to spend. So also promote it as a thing with, why people they've got their credit cards out and they're ready to spend. Promote it something like that, and then, you can go from there maybe to an upgrade. And then I said the other thing is I want to put together something for New Year and something along the lines of, New Year's keep your New Year's resolution detox pack, something like that. I know it's not punchy catchy or anything, but I kind of like it. So you do your own thing. But doing something like that and putting together, again, it can be the same kind of pack. It really doesn't actually have to be any different. You can just do the same thing, the greens, the sachets of noni, elite. And I said, maybe if we do 2 packs where you can either do a 10-day pack or a 14-day or something, don't give too many choices, just 2 choices, so that it's like if people would like, well, we can downgrade to a 10, well, not downgrade, but we can do a 10-day if you want it, something along those lines. So as I said, we haven't done it yet. It's just the troubleshooting that I did today, but I said you guys have got Renew, you've got other things, you've got the mower, which we don't have. So you can do your own thing that's area specific. But I just thought, as I said, summertime, or we're here in this side of the world, it's summer, can be like a 10-day bikini pack or something. I don't know. I just thought, if we just play around with all these sorts of things rather than and upsell them from there. So anyway, that's just my 2 cents worth.
I love it, Vanessa. And what I really love is this is your business. This is your business. So you get to do what you want. And I love that idea. It's creative. It also gets the products into people's hands. It gives you an opportunity to talk about it, whether they buy it or not. You get more exposure, you get a more sense of urgency to get it out there or invite people that you have packs, and you probably only have a limited amount because you're assembling them ahead of time. And I really like the concept of making a simple choice, because when it gets complicated, people just say no. So I love it. I'm going to play around with the idea myself. I think that's a great idea. And there's a lot of boutiques too, that people go to. You can also have a customer appreciation where you're selling the packs there as well and offering holiday drinks or whatever, summer drinks. And they can come purchase little party packs as well. So you can get really creative, and we have that liberty to get creative because it is our own business. So thank you for sharing. I'm going to go ahead and ask if Lisa Swanson is available. And before she comes on, I just want you guys to know this is just a moment. This group wants to go ahead and pray, and it is a chance for you to stay on and receive it. It is a chance if you are not staying on. We give you hugs, high fives, welcome you to a very, very good day. And I don't know, is Lisa here?
I am.
Oh, you are. Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. So we're going to go ahead and hear what Lisa has to say. She'll pray us out. And if you are continuing your day, we look forward to seeing you tomorrow, and have a wonderful day. Thank you, Lisa.
Oh, thank
You're
you.
on.
Thank you, Tammy. Thank you so much. So many great IPAs and things to glean from. And just from the beginning of this call, I just keep thinking about this one word that you said, Tammy, and that was identity. Identity, like who we are growing into and evolving. But then I think, okay, who we already are. Who we already are growing from on the inside, who we were already created to be. So much goodness in that. And I was thinking, okay, this is a lifestyle with Partner Co. It's a lifestyle to share these awesome products. And when you were saying your testimony about your family, and I have testimonies. My husband is a perfect testimony of the drops, who said he would never go on them. And people want to hear that authenticity of who we are and how they affected us. So I'm gonna start doing that more too. But I feel like that some people are, and I've been in that situation to where I strive. I want to strive in my business. I just do, when I really don't have to. I don't have to strive in those things that were already created inside of me. I don't have to strive in the authenticity of who I am. I don't have to strive in just being me and sharing who I am and what I love. I don't. So I feel like that sometimes we just need to hear that you don't have to strive in those things. So I want to pray. I want to pray us out on with that identity piece and that no striving, because we really don't have to do that. but we get caught up in it. And believe me, I've gotten caught up in it myself. So let's just go to the Lord in prayer. Thank you, Jesus, for we don't have to strive in you. We just don't. We don't have to strive in who we are and who you've created us to be. And I just thank you for that, Father God. I thank you for just who we are, who I am, who Tammy is, and Pam and Diana and Becca, who we are already created in your image. And I thank you for that, Father. I thank you that you've already put inside of us the special things about us that we share with others, and that we are growing and evolving in who we already are. And I thank you for that, God. And I just pray for those that need just that special prayer this morning to know that you're enough. And let them know, Father God, that they are already enough, that they don't have to say or do anything more than just who they are already, God, and that they're enough. And just touch them and love on them and be with them. And I just honor them, Lord, right now, that they just see who they are in you, Father God, this morning and every day, Lord. I thank you. So we give you this day, we give you this week, this month, this year, as we're building out our businesses, Father God, and just are giving it to you as we're moving forward in prosperity and in just helping others to be themselves as well and to be a better them. So we thank you, God. We give you praise and glory in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you, Lisa.
You're welcome. Have a great rest of the week.
Jesus. Tammy, wonderful.
Thank
Tammy,
you.
great job.
Thank you. Great call this morning.
Amen. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye,
Thank
everyone.
you
Have a
all.
great day.
Thank you, Tammy.
Have a
Thank
great
you so
day.
much.
Bye-bye.
God
Good
bless.
morning.